your friend say the neighbor's principle. Say unya oyonko say ya wa ankasa na obeya na. Enti no ye obi ba hospital a ofan say wa ankasa unu say nka wona wo yare na wo hospital a ankasa na osusu say yen show that duty no is paramount. Is very important. Say we ye medical professional no be hwesa de say me hwe me nua me yonko no ne hwe sofo it's not say juma me ye no eno ne ade esese me ye. Into the moment you do that na say who was our duty now, then the next step. And I said the next element to be satisfied when it comes to issues, and I say, what is the standard of care? Say a shame remwa, and I say a medical practice in the man. And their standard, and yet they share yarefo. It's a no remnants, your friend the Bolan test. Yet the tone senia says it will be yarina or ba hospital, dear necessary. I say they are checking the vitals. It's what checking the blood pressure, what checking normal, SSO family weight, and Sakra now what they now command doctor say on your consultation on that person. So that standard, then was it followed, was it adhered to? And so now what me satisfied to say that standard no or man you sue not a failure the Bolan test now. And so you say whether or not there was a breach of duty. And the doctor no, and as a medical professional, and as whoever is in charge, you know, Nejuma is such a way, no, Udi so when swa, naturally say, yes, I see a say when so no, and then you won't buy and it knows a certain example. The learned Professor Akosa Ekase Obia or no, now or medical doctor, any kind say. Fuel scent so now maybe allergic to some fuel scent no ekofan suma ebia or into a certain state amanenti and drive ya or ko share car bia si wuye no as say hwehwem say car no ko share ase ne ku no ana say fuel into senka hospital no ko ya ebi bisa say panie bi ne ebo no ana say bibi ni si ya e ma sa de na e bae into there is a classic case a trema chepa a friend Ashanti Media. So case a principle back when it comes to medical negligence. Obia or no or call hospital. Now the SSC no and far amputation when you could try in sa. It's say drip by the man no. I did this in no my infection eba in sano mamuku try. Ninsano sue those times come for not a hospital. The damages, and there have been so many other cases. I think 2025 Yabenkaya Tamale Teaching Hospital, there was a situation where Dr. B Yasoma no maybe Anko Yama, I think the minister Ekrama Dr. No in charge of the Tamale Teaching Hospital no step it down. So what it means is that the element of negligence no ultimately satisfied, and also says no man satisfied in law. Then you are empowered to go to court and ask for damages and ask any form of restitution and ask relief. Sir, usually say yademawa ebema ahunya ukumu ana ana yesi no ebetimi ahwe na ya compensate you well enough. And you know there should be a duty of care, and then there should be a standard of care, and then there should be a breach of that duty. It is a breach bibia there. The non timingina Sadia Nessi and so and Casenipano and Jume ye and Untuko yin a license and also they know ever 5 in criminal prosecution and I say what the best say in civil suit or best CD in that action against the facility and answer the medical professional.
Okay. Now, yeah, Shadio. Music should be of this country. And me say, and the dinner was 3 years. Pa, me person me body din. 7 previous when you do area, say stroke. Now, or chance or hospital, and now you go on a panya beer. Then you cross a sa panya and you the one. You say was a mistake, and okonya that problem no. And we've seen these problems all over. Ebasanwa, se me person me su nipa no a. SSS nipa no na bia nurse ni o yes ade no. One na ese me siu no ana se SSS me siu hospital no na e cover nurse no. Ana se me siu nurse ni na. Ana se nipa no handle me na e cover hospital ni na.
Initially on make I say ubetimi asiu both the individual medical professional nipa na o ya ade no At the end, so in isolation or within a certain facility, in a medical facility. So that medical facility, most of the time, would be vicariously liable. Yes, to me, at the conform also the omobefra. Say, when I want share alpha professional obeying the jume every crowd, when necessary provided a say be a drone fake, and as a drone expiry date action. It's in the hospital, you have a duty, you have a responsibility to ensure, say, drone ya debe woni pano. The expiry date, within the period that a drone potent. It is a one fact. As a hospital, you can be vicariously liable. And we can make that extension under common law principle. Say you are vicariously liable. Say one so hospital no one and your facility na but some facilities be over BBC immediately they will take steps to exonerate themselves. If they are not professional, it is a professional then hospital no dia na mo no 2 year and then she say no mo year ya omode ebe exonerate omo and I say intervention be impona that time no ade ni see no omo initiate so that the hospital can then defend itself. Say you've taken an action against me as a facility, but me no name professional no be so that the professional will be the one to deal with the consequences of that negligent act.
Now, Ghana, do we have a medical malpractice law? We say already your Criminal Offences Act Act 29 you were one of the negligence of duty, negligence of whatever. I didn't cover that, But when we talk about the medical malpractice, do we have something that administer and as a govern the hospital? Sanoman healthcare.
I answer you Emra Bibrea. Hefra for Emra and all other laws the kind of things that you have to meet and the requirement you have to meet to set up a medical facility. But you need to be the Medical Malpractice Act. I am right, no standalone act. Because we are part of the common law jurisdiction. We are practicing common law principles. When it comes to medical issues, when it comes to negligence, we apply the principle of common law, which is negligence. I no etro and no man church say there should have been a duty of care, there should have been a standard of care, and there should have been a breach. And now you create criminal offences and also Act number 29/1960. There are specific provisions. It can be criminal in nature, where you deal with the person in terms of manslaughter and causing unlawful harm. As a medical professional, you can be sued under criminal jurisprudence. And you need a stand-alone law. On some a combination of so many things. It means starting crime, the Limitation Act. So we started an action in negligence. Maybe a lawyer now say, 5 years ago, BBC I should be able to advise the person to tell the person, say, no, 5 years ago, you had within 3 years to have taken that decision. It's a pocket of a lot of laws that you put together. So it's up to the legal professional. Nipana also say Bibia Koswetiano, a consultant to be able to put the various individual laws together to be able to commence an action against a professional say medical facility chrono.
Okay, lawyer, me switch here. Me ba na ma baby so asembi. But I have to ask you before I go. Be ba no aba be ya no. Yen fa ne say me ti hai me Ghana ni. E na yi obi de be fa say Supreme Court judge and I say electoral commission. Obi a petition no. Say nipa na wa petition electoral commission no. Waso ya Ghana ni wo hu say bibi ntwa yi electoral commission ti no wa petition no. Now me Mako hospital me kono me hododo me people na yede me kokoduo ye dru honom no ebia that hospital no ebetimi ayade bi aja sustain me kakra ansa na bia ya refer me to different hospital but they did not do anything na bia de me ko another one eno so ma anya hwete said the abrantie die na se bia me confirm wu a anase bibi kokotomi a metimi asu baby adi mi card me koye because me so me ya Ghana ni a me tua taxes me taxpayer me bia ya teme RS ya teme tax ne sa no ma no ni na aka hu bi ene bia communication service tax ya di bi kotua youth employment for kan ya di bia ba betua sa doctors no mu ni na aka eno na ba metimi asu me se adana me ya Ghana ni ne maba na me hwɛ me nkwa na mantimi anya bibia moame ansa na makɔ na makɔ dem ana ma hwɛ me nkwa make bad ma ba bebusaw but we have an Austin yeah Austin Wood is a journalist na say media practitioner UK me ba be but before ye me introduce Austin no yen kono yen kɔhwɛ Professor Badu Akosa biem brand the findings no chama na o cheche mu edefa no yen kono yen kɔhwɛ video ne samra so that mo be sa appreciate what we doing here. That I'll come back and introduce to you Austin Wood.
Key findings related to the police hospital. Ambulance arrived at the hospital with the patient alive. Hospital failed to triage the patient and initiate stabilizing interventions. Ambulance moved with the patient out of hospital after 11 minutes. At the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, ambulance arrived at hospital with patient alive. It's important that we state all these things because at the time they got to the hospital, patient was alive. Hospital failed to triage the patient and initiate stabilizing interventions. Ambulance moved with the patient out of the hospital after 70 minutes. And you can refer to that snapshot, 118 minutes referral anomaly. In Kolebu Teaching Hospital, ambulance arrived at the hospital with the patient alive. Hospital failed to triage the patient and initiate stabilizing interventions. Ambulance crew was redirected to from Kolebu Teaching Hospital to UGMC, but they refused. Patient died in the ambulance in about 70 minutes while in hospital.
All right.
Key findings in
all right, we Professor Ajiba Badu Akosa. Nana, me go to Austin Woodara. We are me call your. Now, Austin, you've listened to Professor Badu Akosa. Step by step. Baby, you can't call a police hospital. He was arrived there alive. And he then call Rich Hospital. And also, no, from Rich Hospital, no, on the ambulance they do. Also, no, they left the Rich Hospital alive. And a honey na. Ne ho o hwe ne nkwane ade ansana ye de ne kokolebu eno so was alive any ade but utie ayina o say medical negligence eno no start fi baby a okohwe ne nkwane akasa na ye hwa de omo ana baby odi ka koye no couldn't we have done something because ono Professor Badu Akosa no made a statement. I remember when Professor Mills died no akabibi say chama ambulance na edene ban we should carry them because ambulance na wo Jubilee House it has as a special ambulance that we could have given Professor Mills some shocks to be a kebetimi sustaining to 37 military hospital or wherever that or lose the life no. So couldn't we have done something there before Ansani didn't pano ako
yo na meda ni wetie ko nyina when you say oh minor I think the biggest challenge is there are no consequences for people doing what they do. And I think we have a mediocre mindset. We need the one year what are you saying? Oh, we don't value human life. Because if we value human life, some of these things, what they na we condition of service in your bread na what's the thing? You get a sense of fulfillment. No, and yet I should wait to you need value for human life because and then you may check the more user. You might report the accident to you commanding Nipa 27 and 3 and 4 years report to your carry call. Skinkwala akobobo obi bi omo akofro trotro omo tata so akonya accident obeka president Akufo-Addo time ko offense so akonya accident wo ho nipa enkola 14 ewu and once you assume state minister wakọ ya nyeshi ya amfa ho yakoma ebusu esika it is value that we don't have for human life no achesendiana hospital dey na you say at least a hold you to na ye de ma omo because I know tie nsemo na because I do akusa di twinga no bedu akusa di twinga any somewhere a normal ko ya miracle na from miracle papa because what here obi wo ho ahụ enka odimi na busia ebetimi empo akase a bibi amhie biar mo nka ye bepa ko aba but no money emergency care nanka se bed cry na eni wa mo de mo nso pa no kakra maye na within about an hour to 2 when baby sister will be nako. So I keep telling myself, say, na you would yen some would be. And a way clear, oh baby, hospitals that a yakis, Ghana, a wa. Then you know, who cook it to a more hospital or walk out the muco from no walk on or a day. Nana miracle or mine. So you're not and an idea back from a lawyer church law partner. Really person the human centered partner in baby. The idea that you step out your mind says, "Ubi a better man into after or my doctor, a nurse, and a health worker." No, I think there was a psychological and emotional evaluation of the person.
Yeah.
Because nana to phone me wa na wa for me oh say me nia baby we school to see ka ubet menya nurse mano you know nipa na e ya dia otoso wo ye no eno na otoso wo ye o tema so obi be ye sa ade no ye ya ma sisi o health workers akoye say unemployment situation na abayin to solve it. Or mining to solve the private sector to solve it, and many people into healthcare delivery and our health professionals. It shouldn't be that way. The obvious used to need you know that you mammy from nurse. It is also a holistic evaluation of a mobile healthcare professional agreement and because what could here? No matter the challenges, we are back. Now, heard the report. I'm saying all these things based on the report. Now, to me, like I said, my many family emergency on Tuesday, you must no, this is bad. That is bad. It's me, no, yeah, I didn't say no, will be sanity. If it means family, because these are two major hospitals we are in Koye. None of them could have done anything about it. And you see, this report coming out, it should not be an everyday from the it should bring about a change in a systemic change. Oh, it's a systemic change. And you say, you go to hospital, and you say, yes, point to your but a systemic change, we are the muster. So we there should be a system in place as some sort of near the at least in the most high emergency care. No, they are not and yeah. Ghana, I think we are it will happen again. And when it continues, over time, 2024, you see what central region. I say, Obi, we to find the way accident, Mammy. And then say, I brought when it clean. Wakoda hospital after 3 weeks. Hospital, and say, Omi, in addition, for Kasaka, okay, so me, Mamma, and never told. The hospital ambulance efa maame ne beto ewuram ma maame ne hwere ne nkwa Dr. Okuboy then as minister set up committee they can see the interdict you know any question say how do you question say mama yin na yema no mutu kwan wa kwa yi if you fan say me pa me ma na question you wa tu kwan kwa yi me nya me fa fa ma accident aba me say about for the medical only to look at the defense yeah they not go to hospital no until you na busia for ka so mu ya no hospital no so ada what 3 weeks it will make some mama na ambulance ma betu murem murem tabiri mo mama me na fere ne nkwa Mama, I'm saying, unfortunately, Bob, when I'm a hospital, you so I've been asking myself, how can we change this mindset of the Ghanaian? So there is leadership paralysis in the country that we are building.
Okay. All right. All right, Austin Jasmame, we still have lawyer Abdullah Banda is a constitutional lawyer still with us. So, lawyer, take a bite. I was discussing now. I remember there was a time now a double salary issue by a person, one person. Oh, Abdullah is gone. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. Lawyer Abdullah, I'll ask you the same question. Maybe some question because it's very, very important that if one person can sue the government, it's a beer, metia head national health insurance, metue beer, meduma meyano, metia health insurance, and I say me company tia health insurance, me koyi no ma ye health insurance levy, me kwa kotadia ya me health insurance levy. Afi me ko hospital. After you say me health insurance, they drone when bibia health insurance cover bia enu honum. Doesn't mean say betimi asiu aban no. Sade betimi asiu aban no. I think that lawyer Abdullah will come back to answer this question. Now let me go to lawyer your friend say Richard Dako, a private legal practitioner. So law, let's keep that question that we bisa no.
Answer that question has got to do with the facility. The truth of the matter is that, honestly, Enra me follow reports, me real who yen say. Honestly, I disagree with parts of the report. That kind of pushes for more like sanctions against the medical professionals in question. Meanwhile, you say your medical professionals be our majuma and sheda and sweni. But I can tell you on authority, say, the medical professionals in Ghana are doing so well. So well.
Yeah.
Under certain circumstances. You say you're the Nipanico Police Hospital, you're the Neko Rage, you're the Neko Kolebu. The question is, who in his right senses? And as a waba or your doctor, now all the equipment over here. There is enough beds, we have enough facility, equipment or because I said before, I said back on the show. I will be sitting near show. I'm not sure anybody in his right senses, as a subject, to send a mechanic the Bolan tester, say, rationally, would the person do that? So the point I disagree, and say, we can caution the doctors, but they are doing things in extreme situations. As a circumstance, and they push you it's more like, the doctors will be easy target. Now they are target too. But the problem is with the facility. And who are the owners of these facilities? The government of Ghana.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you. As now, but do the report nearby. Professor Bedu Akosa point 4 no Kabibi say was another key concern raised was the absence of formal handover system and weak coordination across institutions leading to delays and unclear transfer responsibilities. Chese opeso chese omi ahwehwe mu no obu say se mama say bia dey free a rich hospital ya dey no kokolebu no wodi na dru honom no e bia say rich for no e hand over e dey ma kolebu for no the coordination no as almost to trouble honoma say as meye ye ba munya betre say ni say as a fo bia ho something like that. Oh enti Say
ni nyina ne senia unua Austin Wood eka no, there's a systemic failure. Some systemic failure no, is as a result of lack of enough equipment. But now we are going to sacrifice professionals, medical professionals are you say you enough in the system, and I show muye, and I taking care of them so well. Ye tell me, doctor salary are rebel, and or running an 8-hour, a 12-hour shift. I had the opportunity to visit a doctor friend of mine. You'll be sad. Just on all in the name of as I see a sheni power. A nipan come here, they will have to do everything possible. Semina told me a behami, Semibusianina told na a behami. Means to sisters are doing too, but we should not be quick in judging and condemning the medical professionals who are going through extreme situations and improvising. The problem is with the facilities. Medical institutions now, one facility now, one hospitals now, are we equipping them well enough? Are we buying enough for the hospitals that need this equipment? Look at the surgical department of Kolebu.
Yeah, that's true. Because
the action should be against the hospital. Send your officer and say, so Okona Bibi and Kosuya, Asante alias Kramoya mechanic, Kumaya mechanic case. Or no, you Attorney General. Attorney General is the chief legal advisor and the lawyer for the entire nation and all state institutions. Yes, you Attorney General on behalf of Konfanoche Teaching Hospital. Yeah. So I think the blame should be put at the doorstep of this hospital and government by extension, so that we can caution these medical professionals, and then the real corporates are the institutions and the organizations now in charge of all of these facilities.
Thank you very much. I just want to say, Dr. Peter Tekpe is a policy analyst and so has joined us. Doc, thank you very much. But don't go share a report in a buy now. Or say equipment challenges, noting that some monitoring devices were not functional, which affected ability to properly track the patient condition during transport. So all these things, you have a rich hospital, Mijinetira, Mihuni Shepem, Afeme Remuno, and no maybe near Juma, they be also Sumitria, and Mitria Sikabi, I see a dear Kobo, a Gani, Yapomo, dear Hobra, any idea. Uko Kolebu Teaching Hospital, the same thing. Police Hospital, Ejina Hoshepem, but Ube Remuno, according to Professor Bedra report, let's say, and normally be Bebre and Yer Juma. What you normally say, you as a Ghanaian, from 1957, basically, can we say that we are still a state failure? They said they call for Ekana. It's a harsh, but they say we should accept it in that way.
In fact, and now me see a report, I felt so sad within me. And like I said, once again, condolence to the family.
Yeah.
It's very unfortunate. In fact, what happened to the gentleman can happen to anybody across any level.
Yeah.
And until Nehia says, I report we, I will say, yes, Shena, you make as much as possible. When I fast, I bet me a masani my way. I know as now there what say. Despite the challenges in the system, our medical system, doctors, or because the system under which they are working with is very frustrating. And sometimes, as humans as they are, emotionally and psychologically, sometimes they get also pressured and also take certain decisions. When it comes to human life, there are certain professions about no human life. They also secure our life. There is no excuse. The reason is the professional who are taking, that is what I also obey. I call this military to protect the citizens, the police service, the security service. Even though I was saying more conditions one seminar. Say about say nipa kwa eba say na emisa dey buy ya now. It's as a result of negligence, And no, there is no way to defend this because a human life.
Yeah.
It can happen to anyone because the basic thing is irrespective of whether the panel is the hospital is resource or not, or the doctors were trained to handle these emergency situations at certain circumstances, even when they don't have access to certain basic equipment.
Yeah.
For instance, ambulance driver now or the omokono report they said they were not equipped. Very good. Omono, we know say that is the situation, most of them.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the medical doctor, we all know say a ban on human life, no matter this. You know that say anka you need go private hospital. Any crown, I don't think say this I do with BC. And so to say a private hospital and they call it. And it is for me, it is not that people want to talk against the medical doctor because they are doing a lot of sacrificial work looking at the conditions. Nemo, a ban on issues like this now, there's no need to defend this. I think say if any of the doctors got to know say nipa no work can no niba and then the I don't think omobema nako. So sometimes we don't have to be defending certain things. As you said, nipa no buy na I can't say no. Do you think they will let them go? No.
Yeah.
It will never have happened. They will have done everything within their means to make sure they save the life of the person. It is what you're talking about. You're talking about the understanding of the profession in which you are in. Say, me see me ye nipa ho djuma. Who do ye nipa ho djuma no? Ye nipa brew na nipa yarea. Quite of the person be civil life. It don't think it is an honor. It's a whole lot of joy. Say, we better say, hey, now could be you. And our life and that joy is even more than a doctors for Jumano a calling. If it's the moment you want to bring in condition of service, then according to say, who ye Juma or company, a kitchen edema on in here, they be also real complaining, who be called Juma late, a man at the mountain, ye, who be Nusua, who yan biara, who point any time, the best pamel. Because the reasons why you are giving sampa and they are okay, but you can't so person. Now resigning now.
Yeah.
You cannot be complaining say because you have option to resign.
You resign, yeah.
But when you remain in the Jumanumo, now you know say what the condition is no good, and you are punishing the work. Say assemble the law will deal with you. That is how it is.
But don't go to the lawyer so kana. We say udru babia. It's like to say that question na me bisa we say udru babia. Ana ede we say doctor ni bia or pass or person but he doesn't have anything because there was a time I went to a Confederate teaching hospital. Minya respiratory problem when I went there even almost friend BB gram BB ibia I see a do ramimu so that they will be able to know what is wrong with my me throat in this anomaly. They didn't have it. So the doctor directed me to come to on one private hospital quadra so and I have to go there. Facilities it was serious. So per the lawyer canon a serious concern say a whole rich hospital will be nothing, confonoche nothing, ubetiana confonoche, echocardiogram crowd no beer. No outside container be muones kakoto echocardiogram. Sadia na edia ne maneba or mining yes can koto adia ne boy $50,000 by individual yes kakoto.
And no yet systemic problem. There is another body to be responsible for that, which is the politician, which is the leaders.
Yeah.
Also, those are the things we hold them responsible for. It is different from say Nipanaba. They also and you have nothing to do. It's different.
Okay. All right.
Say Nipanaba now one share no cry. Now you don't even bother to find out what is wrong with the person. If the report says say doctors no be share everything chest of be share now basic nyama omo de beye ejuma omo be boa no ebi ni until they have to refer. Where the issue is say nipa no call honko no. Did you see the report saying say now doctors be share here. The condition is such that they have to refer. That's why they refer the person to the various hospitals. No. So apart from systemic challenges we have, there are human challenges that have to be corrected, and we cannot take that out of the equation.
That's fantastic.
I agree, sir. The doctors are working under difficult conditions, but that does not also prevent them say basic work they are also here to prevent a certain situation, especially when it has to do with human life. This is human life, and yet any other thing, human life.
Yeah. Okay. It's okay.
So we can't take it for granted.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Dr. Peter Takpe is our in-house policy analyst. Yeah, Brenna Sobatam, my member Austin Wood and Dr. Lawyer, 1 minute. Now, me person me busasa assembly is very, very important. Outside from this one, my member Musa na 30 seconds each. Na biya nyame admo chane atwaso. Lawyer Austin, yabeka ise oranya ho tamaklu. Ni book watro retirement, a citizen into retirement. What the ashem say, President Rawlings. Ni wono wu ya no suspect say enya covid de ku no te say the establish ya no nemom o suspect say he was murdered because anase for enum bia omo tend to papa no ye wie ya na ye twa ticket am omo ko abruche na a captain for me no susu e shake hand say mission accomplished. See etimi set up a committee to investigate Charles Emisadia adenti no obi e wa lead this country for 29 years na such a statement I can't ask him with let me give you 30 seconds. We'll continue tomorrow. Do we have to open for another investigation which is said we say
yo nana me de my dream no sensem saba o mine no obi a former president omunim ne ku no iki mpanyinfo ni nyombe ya afa ho de aka nyina de mebo ne tofa no ne se eno anajo na ababa awa wo yensenchuni lawyer se wa me here watcho article bi wo my job online Ghana web ni wan no bi ge send him say me kai my dream ho ne say kope bi kan o say you started multi-party democracy since 92 no it was right yempanyinfo ni to ma ye bibi pa ma ya brabo tumpon area of health, education, sports, infrastructure. The class is in one and I mean we did you my mama brabo tumpon. It's like you call your name. What is that same way I carry and let's say obi akọ hospital we what Ghana for a year 1994 because it I deal with that for Ghana
that's all. I say yeah time na so